I got some pretty tough words on this video, and I totally expect to get a few thumbs down, but that's okay. Right now as I speak, it's late June of 2022. There's a lot of news, a lot of things on the news about the abortion decisions, and I'm not going to take sides on abortion, but I am going to take sides on something else related to it. There's a lot of news about food price inflation, right? Apparently a lot of people are apparently going hungry, and Let's Go Brandon is going to have to think about if he wants to give us some more food stamps or some other benefits. California is apparently going to cut a stimulus check in order to fight inflation. What they don't realize is that they're pouring gasoline on the inflation fire, right? I gotta point out something, though. Most Americans could eat a lot less and be healthier. I gotta point that out. We could lose 50% of our calories and probably be even healthier than we are today. Far more Americans are dying from eating too much, right? Actually, eating too much might kill even more people than our so-called pandemic, right? We've been in a pandemic of having too much to eat for at least 30 years, right? And apparently most Americans can't stomach the idea that maybe they ought to eat less and be healthier, right? Now, about the abortion issue, last time I checked, there's a bodily function that one has to do in order to even consider the idea of abortion, right? A lot of Americans, unfortunately, cannot stomach the idea that maybe instead of doing this thing, they ought to enjoy actual romance, and they could actually enjoy meaningful things in life, right? So I hate to be the one to point this out, but I'm going to be tough here. Don't eat more than you need, right? And don't indulge in this bodily activity for reasons other than it was intended for. Reproduction, right? There, I said it. I know it's tough, but it needs to be said. But what should we do instead? Well, instead of doing these things, your life really opens up, right? I want more people to go out there and invent the cure for cancer, discover chemical element 119, maybe create some AI to improve the world, right? If you stop doing those two things, a lot of doors really open up. And also, I want to point out something. Some people will point out that this bodily function that I'm talking about, a lot of people have forced on them outside of their consent. Yes, it does happen, but you know what happens even more? A lot of people who don't have any desire to do this thing get forced upon by society to do it in order to fit in. I bet that kind of rape culture is a heck of a lot bigger than the kind of rape that might be against the law, right? But unfortunately, nobody talks about it, right? Anyways, tough choices to be made, but of course the politicians hate it, right? They hate that we have control over our bodies. They would much rather see we produce enough food to feed everybody, overfeed everybody around the world like twice over, right? The real problem is that we have a broken market of distributing this food in a positive way. But the politicians love it because they screw up the market for distributing the food, and then they can throw a few scraps at us in the form of food stamps, other benefits, and they can pretend like they're helping us and buy votes, right? They break the market in a way that we feel like all we have is, well, the bodily function that we do. And then they can control us on whether or not we can have an abortion, right? And buy votes that way. The politicians hate it when we take autonomy of our bodies. But these are tough things to hear, right? Use your body the way it was designed to, and a lot of opportunities will open up.